Monday night, and this is the Physicist and Philosopher Hour, and our physicist is Dr. Claudia Albers. How are you doing, Claudia?
I'm very well, thank you, Wayne, and how are you?
I am much better. I am healing and stronger than ever before, and so antibiotics work.
That's good. Yes, it's a good thing we have them.
Yes, I guess.
Usually when we really need them.
Yes, I don't like particularly taking them, but I can tell you, having been a victim of spinal meningitis and Lyme disease, saved my life. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I just think that very strange things are happening in the world. And we were just talking about some of them.
Yes, and in fact, we're waiting for Scott to join us. So because y'all apparently saw something pretty.
We saw a crazy sky today, absolutely crazy. There were.
Well, thank you, Brandon.
There were squares and rectangles, and there was even a donut shape in the sky. It was unbelievable.
Well, I got to tell you, Claudia, good friend of the group and the community, Jennifer Collins, caught probably a UFO right over her house. Then yesterday, more UFOs being caught. I have hello, Brian. Hello, Tricia. How are you? Troy. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. And Claudia, the room is just filling up faster than I can say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you to the moderators as well. There is Scott. So hold on one second and let me pull Scott into the conversation. And as he says, there he be. There he be. And I think I have to unmute him. Hello, Scott. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Scott. Let me close this out. There we go. And so welcome, Scott. How are you?
Not doing too bad. I had a very, very interesting day looking at the sky. I can tell you that much.
Well, Claudia was saying that. So listen, I'll turn it over to y'all because I like seeing this kind of stuff because it's affirmation, confirmation, and validation.
Yes.
I can actually spell all those words too.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. I've never seen the sky so. I mean, it's been fake for a while, but today it's going beyond fake. It's going to higher levels of fake.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm going to share our live feed real quick with the Planet X News Facebook family, all 20-some thousand of them.
Welcome. And I'll just continue to say hello to everyone. Iowa X, Terry Little, thank you, Don. Boy, I'd have to almost have a scorecard here. It's going so quick.
So many people, that's good.
Well, I have to tell you, there is just oddities happening not only in the skies, but I think within the solar system that we call home. Something's going on, folks. I don't know what it is, but as they would say, them skies ain't right.
I think we've gone to another level of everything. More things are happening in the solar system. More things are affecting the Earth. So, I've written carefully about the fact that these unprecedented tidal events means that we have objects that are affecting the Earth, and the stellar cores must be coming very close to the Earth and doing the same thing they do on Earth that they do with the Sun. Logically, not as many would come near the Earth, but they seem to be affecting the Earth, and that's why we're getting these tidal events and things like that. there's no other possible explanation. We need an object that exerts a small gravitational force, actually tidal in nature. It has to come close to the Earth to be able to do that.
So I'm gonna. I was
trying to hide them. That's what it is.
Yep. As a veteran of the video industry, I come from the broadcast industry. Was in it for nearly 20 years. I notice how programming is done. Worked in that field and knew a lot of people that worked for the major networks. Here's what's really odd. Today, there were 3 programs on Discovery Science, along with National Geographic, all talking about Planet X, Planet 9.
Yeah.
And the one I found particularly of interest was the one where they have admitted now it's 10 times the size of Earth's mass. They said that they have now figured out its orbit. It's not like ours. This one is going outside the elliptical plane.
Okay, like the polar orbit of Nico.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, but you see, it's still disinformation in a way, because what we have is objects very near the sun, which they will never admit to.
No, I don't think they're going to do that, but they are spoon feeding it. Drop by drop.
So many people have realized that we have something now that's affecting the sun and the earth. So as usual, they will put out a little bit of information that is slightly close to the truth, but it's still diverting attention away from what's actually happening, which is dramatic. It affects the earth dramatically, but they do not want people to know about that. What they are doing in our skies, what Scott and I saw in our skies, that's what it's all about. They are trying to hide the fact that these objects are affecting our planet.
And why don't we see what y'all got? Because this is very interesting.
We've made some pretty astonishing captures the whole entire week. Not just taking photographs. We've captured some real oddities on the C3 coronagraph, stereo. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of information, but some of these pictures today, Wayne. Oops, lost you there for a second.
Now we see you. There we go.
Oh God, what did I do there? Here we go.
No, you're still on.
No, I just lost it on my screen.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, we did find lots of interesting things. Or Scott did. And he showed it to me.
You guys can see the screen?
Yes, we can.
And let me go back this way. Oh, you know what? Let me jump out of this and go here so I could pan through them.
Okay.
What we noticed here today, first thing in the morning, 10 o'clock, crystal clear skies. It had that little bit of a bluish gray tint to it, but crystal clear. And within 3 hours, the planes came out. They started their thing. But by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, things started getting really, really weird. And I said to Claudia, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to come pick you up and we're going to go take a ride. We're going to take some pictures of the sky, because all of this week, and I've seen this before and I've photographed it before. I documented it, did a video about it, but I'm seeing these geometric shapes in the clouds, man, like squares, rectangles, triangles, 90-degree angles, sharp, acute angles in the clouds. I mean, come on, that's impossible. So we went out, took a bunch of photographs real quick. And this was one of the first photographs. And you could see the rest of the picture is completely clear. Crystal clear, man. High definition. And then look over here to the left. It's just like the matrix broke down over here. Because there was clear sky over here, man. And then, you know, we start to see these shapes. Here we go again. You'll see these acute angles everywhere. Squares, rectangles. And then we saw this all of a sudden in front of the sun, this multiple little cotton ball effect. It just came out of nowhere in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
It was there and it did not move. See, look right here, another acute angle. But you know what? This picture, this isn't nothing. I took this photograph, well, maybe 30 seconds later. The camera literally took it, and I didn't change any coloring, nothing. It took this picture in almost like a sepia look. But I didn't change anything on the camera. That was kind of odd. And then out of nowhere, this thing shows up.
Yeah, and it's donut shaped, but with a straight line at the bottom.
Yeah, here's a little further view. These pictures are in reverse.
Unbelievable.
So, you know, I'm looking at this and, you know, it's got a pretty straight line right there, man. You know, but when you look at it, you're like, what the hell is that? And it stayed right there. Other clouds passing by lightly. Well, these aren't even clouds. This is all chemtrail crap. They were chemtrailing very, very heavily. You could see, I mean, they jacked the sky up really, really good. And again, here you go. 4 or 5 minutes later, and the cotton ball pattern right here in front of the sun, it has not moved at all. It's still there. So again, you know, like, how's that even possible? You know, we'll get to the other good stuff here. You know, and I haven't really gone over these pictures completely. I wanted to do some inversions on the color and, you know, see if I can find something else within these pictures. But again, here we go. 90-degree angle, notch, acute angle, flat, 90-degree rectangle. Here's a square right here. Here's another one right here. These are perfect shapes. You know, come on, man. I've been a sky watcher all my life. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. Nothing. And I haven't even got to the good stuff yet. So we kept on taking some photographs. We actually did a video. Put that up on YouTube real quick. You know, just doing some quick videotaping. And let me get to this other one here. Well, here we go again. 5 minutes later, the square has gotten more acute and defined.
Yeah.
Again, here we go again. You have your little rectangle, a little notch. I mean, come on, man. How do you get this stuff in the sky?
You know, the one you had previous to this, if you can go back to that, let's see. Yeah, so pull out. Yeah, so look at your 2 o'clock position. Look at that weird looking, looks like it's turning into like a 90-degree curve.
Oh, up here in the corner? Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you can actually just see it. Yeah.
Oh, there's a good one on the other side.
Well, you know what I see on the other side, and I have some pretty high-res monitors here.
Yeah, me too.
It's the diffuseness of the pictures over on the left.
Exactly. I don't know what happened, man. That's what I was saying. I mean, the sky was kind of clear over there. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with my camera because these pictures were all taken within about a 15-minute period, maybe 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, a few seconds in between. But there's no reason for that to be there. That crazy, shadowing, foggy breakdown of the matrix look to it.
Yeah, and Scott, do you see those rings at about the center of the image? Two small rings? Okay, it's just gone above the view. There. Do you see those? It looks like rings.
Yeah, we found a lot of circular patterns that really look odd. I mean, here's another triangular pattern right here.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Star Trek symbol on their shirts.
My goodness.
I want to get to the really weird, listen, Wayne, I took a video earlier this afternoon of a spiral chemtrail cloud being sucked in by this massive puffy cloud formation. It literally sucked it in. I videotaped it. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I also caught a triangular craft of some kind in these photographs, but dead center in the middle of your screen.
Yeah, I already see it.
Look at that square.
It's actually the secondary one that's next to it that, no, I think that's all one. There's a chemtrail going through the bottom of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've had subscribers actually writing me, and I think that there's becoming some validity to this, that they're there. In fact, I have heard that the invasion force is here.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. It gets even better, my friend. This picture was a couple of minutes later because me and Claudia started talking and we were pointing stuff out to each other. Then let's take some more pictures. Put my camera up there again. And now it's even more defined, whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. It's even more acute.
It's a cube.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, it's definitely weird.
No, it's a cube.
It's a cube, yeah.
No, pull back in on it. You can actually see it. You have to look at it as though you're playing three-dimensional chess. It's
you can see that.
I wish I had my camera. I could have my mouse so you could see it, but there is. I can see it. I can show you.
I can see it actually too. I can see the top part of what you'd expect to be the top of a cube.
I'll send you the file, Wayne. Yeah. It's a zipped file. I'll send you the file on the pictures that came from my camera today, and you can take a look at them and examine them very, very carefully.
That's a cube. I'm just telling you that
it's definitely some kind of weird structure, and it gets even better. I mean, wait till you see what I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. You're gonna crap your pants. Well, it gets even more defined. A minute later, and we kept on seeing these objects. These little teeny black objects up in the sky. Now, they weren't birds. It's entirely too high. I know what the birds look like around here. You know, we have some hawks and some turkey buzzards, and they do soar pretty high. But I could see them with my naked eye, and I know what they look like. I've been looking at them all my life. That one wasn't that clear, but we did catch one that was perfectly triangular. This was just a chemtrail plane. They were just destroying the sky. Once again, here's another one. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bird.
No, that's no damn bird.
It's way too high up to be a bird. Because
we saw other ones. Now, I'm just going to leave this picture here on the screen, and you tell me what you see.
I mean, the delta being shaped.
You see, it looks like a cutout.
Look right here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about, the delta wing.
Yes. It looks like
And
Looks like
it's got a three-dimensional shadow like right here, man.
it looks like a puzzle piece that's missing from the rest of the puzzle.
And here's the thing, Wayne. We saw all of this with the naked eye, not through a camera. We spotted this with the naked eye.
Yeah.
And I took a series of photographs after we chatted, about a minute, looked back up. It was still there. Here, it's even more defined.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Totally abnormal. The clouds are not supposed to have pieces cut out of them.
It's very interesting when you look at the clouds to the sky to the left.
Yeah. Oh, they jacked it up good, man. So here's the next photograph. I don't know, maybe a minute later. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. Still there.
It's got a shadow. And there is one of those. There's a bunch of these black things. There's one here, one here, one here, and one here. I can't zoom in on them. I haven't converted these photographs over to 4K yet. But we really didn't even need to, because we caught one of them in a perfect triangular black pattern. We'll get to that. But this is what they were doing to the sky. It looked like, they were just tearing fine pieces of cotton and just spreading it across the sky. Like a massive spider web. It was absolutely disgusting. I have a splitting headache. Whenever we got finished with this little project, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I've been getting these, again, splitting headaches, and I got to show you what fell out of me 2 days ago.
Well, do you see the orb?
Oh, yeah. You talking about that little thing right there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It will pixelize, but
there were lots of circles, and some of them look three-dimensional that we saw.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird things going on. This stuff just doesn't even look real, man. It just doesn't look real.
And that thing looks like a ship with two claws.
Yeah. Claudia called it a crab.
Yeah. It's a crab-like ship.
I'm going to post all these pictures on the Planet X News Facebook page so people can download them and take a look at them for themselves and, pick them apart.
There were lots of circles, and some of them looked three-dimensional. I don't know. There was one that looked like a sphere immersed inside cloud.
Yeah. Now there's more of that 3D shape right up here in the corner. But remember, we saw that 3D shape over here with the kind of notches. Remember, we saw it over here.
Yeah. Now it's over there.
Well, not yet. Not in this series of photographs. Got this weird dark shape over here that just would not move.
Yeah. You
have this notch over here that would not move. And now, like more than 10 minutes has gone by. This formation right in front of the sun has not moved. Nothing. Other parts of the chemtrail crap is dispersing. It's moving around. But let me get to this. There it is. You see that little bugger right there?
Yeah.
Again, they were all over the place. Now let's zoom into this one. Bing.
Delta Wingcraft.
Perfect triangle.
Yeah.
And it's got something else going on. Now, again, I haven't converted any of these into 4K, which I will do, I don't know, maybe sometime tonight or tomorrow. And I just didn't have enough time. I'm pushing 16-hour days as it is. And Yeah, time is of the essence here, but I will get on that. That's just a very, very weird. We were seeing these objects all over at the time we're taking these photos. This is just.
And the sun was also flashing for a little while.
Yeah, we have that in some video.
Well, not the sun, because it's obvious it's not the sun. It's a simulator. And for a time, it actually looked like we were under fluorescent lights.
Oh yeah, I started freaking out. I started freaking out. I said, Claudia, look at us.
Yeah.
You know, our shadows on the road were these little teeny thin distorted shadows. Look, man, I used to work in the advertising industry. I've been in studios all my life, filming commercials, filming ads. Man, I know what that looks like. And then, I said to Claudia, I said, look at us. We look like 3D. It was weird. And here, once again, very, very tiny. It's obscured, but there's another one of those little black objects up there.
Yeah.
You can't really see it that well, but you can tell it's there. And they're very high up there. So, we continue taking these photographs and again, got the nice little cloudy surface over here. And then look over here. It looks like, somebody took a paintbrush and blobbed that in.
Yeah.
And then here we go. Perfect triangle.
Yeah.
Right there.
Weird.
Yeah, man, that's what I said. And we're going to find this notched object on the other side of the picture up in the upper right as soon as I can get to it. There's just a lot of weird things in these photographs. This is a photograph directly straight up in the air. Directly over my head, straight up. And, you can pick out a perfect rectangle right here. 90-degree angles. 90-degree angles. They're everywhere. I've never seen anything like this in my life as far as these types of shapes.
Yeah. You see that there right in the middle looks like a spherical, yes, you're pointing right to it. A spherical object immersed in dense cloud. That's what it looks like to me. So I wonder if all this is because there are objects there that they are trying desperately to hide, but yet they're poking through no matter what.
Or it's a damn ship.
Yes, it could be that. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but the ships have been there for quite a while. They've been successfully hiding them because they have cloaking capabilities. But these objects in the sky, they just trying to put something in front of them so they're not seen. So
look what they did to the sky, man. They destroyed it today. I'm trying to get to that picture where
cloud.
Where is that one picture?
I think they try to make the sky a complete mess so we cannot discern the objects that may be there.
Hold on, I got to go back because I think we missed it. Oh, there it is. Right there again. But on this side, boom, boom. There's your square notch. There's another square notch. There's your 90-degree angle, three-dimensional.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
Not normal, that's for sure. It's not normal.
Hold on, let me zip on over here. And then yesterday, we photographed some of these clouds. And you would think, okay, those look normal.
Yeah.
But as the other clouds were slowly moving by, these clouds, they just stayed there for 3 hours.
Yeah, and also there's a straight line there along that gray cloud. Lower down, Scott.
Oh, these angles. Yeah, these angles. They're everywhere. Same thing with this cloud. Hours later, this formation, it just appeared. It did not move in like a front or, with the wind. It just appeared. And then it stayed there for like 2 hours. This was later in the day.
Yeah, so that would mean they're actually creating clouds through holographic projections, perhaps.
Well, that I believe is very much in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, they're definitely doing something weird, man.
It's something's going on. I mean, people are seeing things. Tomorrow night, I'm having a guest on. The best documentation I have ever seen of the Mandela effect. She actually videotaped this event in real time.
Yeah, I was reading a pretty long, lengthy article about it last night.
So, Claudia, there have been, I want to pull up something for you because I wanted to get your take on this. I was a guest on a show the other night, and I'm glad that you're on here as well, Scott. So give me a second here. I want to share this. So we all know that this is core. I think this is LASCO. This is LASCO 3. Yeah, this is LASCO 3. So
chronograph.
Watch this. Now, I've been documenting, and he really did. So this was May, right? And this is the object right here.
My.
And I want to give credit to Chris over on Forbidden Knowledge channel. Again, I think this one is quite interesting. Let me expand out on this. Let me see if I get that.
Yeah, well, those don't look like any known objects, do they?
Look at this. Now, I know Mercury, but this is not Mercury. I'm going to try to pull it up for you. Well, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah. It's obviously, I don't think it's
now
any
it's over
of the
here.
known planets. Look at that. You see, it actually seems to be leaving a kind of a trail behind it, or it's being followed
Right
by a whole lot of debris.
It looks like
That's
a debris trail to me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've captured these for years, and last year I decided to email this lady. Her name and email address is at the bottom of the
debris
area website. I told her I was a science teacher, elementary school, middle school. And I was showing my students some of this stuff, and we couldn't figure out what these were. And she did reply, and she said they were just cosmic rays. That was it. And then she directed me to this link to go look at it, and it was nothing like this. And I literally have hundreds of these photographs of these weird shapes zipping past the sun on the LASCO.
Yeah, there's no way these are cosmic rays. Cosmic rays leave a straight line.
No, these are not.
One particle, one impact, one straight line. These are not straight lines. And obviously, there's a whole lot of smaller objects around them. So these are conglomerations of objects.
I've heard people call them Anunnaki, alien ships. I've heard it all. But, nobody really knows what the hell they are, but they're out there. They're constantly seen.
Yeah, but these look like natural objects.
Yeah, this is the first ones I've got archives that go back to 2012, but look at this. I had not seen this one before. This one, This one really has got me going, okay, this is very interesting that we can actually get it here I think this is 197 angstrom. So
I think this is 304.
Is that 304?
Yeah, 304.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's why they call it the Anunnaki ship, because it has that Anunnaki.
That one is quite symmetrical, but the other ones, when I don't see any symmetry and I see that debris tail, I would say it's a natural object. Probably an object with a cloud of ionized gas around it and a whole lot of debris behind it.
I don't know. That looks pretty. It looks a lot like that.
Yeah, this one is symmetrical. It may be a ship.
It's a big one. And like I said, Chris, you did a great job in pulling these together. What I like what Chris did was that he's gone back, and we can all see by his collage here that this goes back to 2010.
Mm-hmm.
This is 8 years now of this object. It's here, whatever this is. I don't buy that it's Mercury.
No.
The debris trail that is behind here is very evident of something that is where I would expect it to be coming out of the southern ecliptic plane.
Yeah, you see, the dead stars, the stellar cores, have been here for over 100 years. When they come in, they don't emit light, but after a while, they start emitting light, and they would look like a bright object like this, and they don't leave the sun. They just go around and around. I don't know what kind of orbits they have. They seem to have very strange orbits where they go far away from the sun, and then suddenly they come right into the sun's corona. They zip around it for a couple of times, sometimes hover in a certain position, then move away again, disappear for a while, come back again after a while.
This I thought was very revealing. Pixelation will take place, but check this out, folks. This is a straight line, which means that what the telescope is actually seeing is exactly that. It's a straight line, except for this object here. This is big, whatever it is.
Oh, it's massive. It's massive.
I don't know. I have in my library, and let me stop the share on this, but Chris, again, thank you for allowing us to show this. I thought he just did an exceptional job. So I want to pull up, because what I have, give me 1 second, and as he says, actually, y'all talk.
Claudia doesn't believe in the alien ships.
No, I believe the aliens are there, all around. I just don't believe they're nice. I believe they are against us. And
well, now that I don't have a problem with. Just to highlight that, Claudia, I pulled this up for you. This was, of course, Nuremberg, Germany.
Yeah, I love that story.
And,
look at that.
Yeah.
When is this from?
Nuremberg, Germany.
Yep.
Or wait, what is it?
1547.
Yeah, 1547, 1542.
16th century, huh?
Yeah, this was documented very, very well in their printed newspaper depictions. This lasted for how long, Wayne? Hours and hours.
Yeah, they actually seen a couple of the craft actually hit in the city.
Yeah.
Look at the sun. That's the one thing that I've often looked at when you look at this sun. Excuse me. I don't want that. There we go. If you look at the sixth sun, look at this.
Yeah.
Is that, it's very odd. Anyway.
Yeah, basically the sky was full of ships. They were
well, they had a battle. I mean, it was a battle in the sky of alien ships. It's very, very well documented, and pretty much if you haven't heard about it, from someone else, then you'll go through life never knowing about this.
Never knowing about it.
Yeah, I think it's an absolutely incredible story. I've watched a few very, very good documentaries on it. I've read numerous articles about it, and I had a chance to read the translation of the actual news article that they printed in their newspaper.
Yes.
They actually had a newspaper at that time.
And we know as well that there was a sickness that fell across the city as a result of that.
Yeah, right after.
Coincident? I don't think so. So I was going to pull up the fact that we know we've caught this very large, what I call, we've seen this, Claudia and Scott, we've talked about the planet that comes right off of, lost the name of the satellite. So
SDO?
Yes.
Soho.
Thank you. And so I'm trying to pull up the pictures that, at any other time, they'd be right there. It's like, oh yeah, no problem. Let me just take you right here. But no.
They're not there.
Yeah, of course not. Why would they be? That's what I'm saying. So anyway, well, there you go. I'll have to find this, and I certainly won't waste our people's good time out.
Yeah, but it's amazing that these aliens have been around for so long. It just goes to show.
Yes, absolutely.
16th century.
Did you get a chance to see our video capture from yesterday off of the C3 coronagraph?
Yeah, I'm writing an article on it, and I've actually just figured out what it is.
I have not. No, I have not. I'll need to look at that.
I'm going to show it to you right now. It's
okay.
Yeah, I figured out what it is. And it's an object that's absorbing electrons. If you look at it carefully, it's got what looks like two trails, but it cannot actually be trails because the object could not follow two different paths to that point. So what it is it's pulling material from behind, just like comets do, which creates comet tails. So that looks like what you would have as comet tails. But inside those tails is a darker trail in the middle, which is the same width as the dark circle inside there. So the dark circle seems to be the actual object. And it behaves somewhat like a comet in that it's pulling material from the outside, the nebula clouds of the sun, the ions, and then it's pulling electrons from the sun's corona. But it's absorbing the electrons, so that tells me it's a stellar core. Now, the electrons, when they combine with the ions, they create neutral atoms, and that gives off photons, and that's why we then can see the light. So wherever it's white, even though it's diffused, that's where light's coming from. That's where electrons and ions are combining and light's being given off. But then we have the black circle. It's not that easy to see. But this object has been seen before in 2009, 2016, where you can see it more clearly. But you can see the circle in the middle. That's the actual object, the black. But it stays black because it's absorbing the electrons. So wherever the surface of the object is, instead of the ions combining with the electrons are being absorbed by the object, so there's no light given off. And that creates the dark trail in between the white trail, because in there we also have no electrons combining with the ions. So that leaves the dark part inside the trail. So this is obviously a stellar core that's behaving a little bit like a comet. It's absorbing ions. So it must have some electrons. It's not like it's not completely dead anymore, but it's still depleted of electrons, so it's absorbing them, and that's what's causing it to look black like that. And
How big?
Well, this was my theory, because this object, when you watch the video, it's only in the frame one time in 12 minutes. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying it's a bow shock, because even a comet will have a type of bow shock, because whenever we have this interaction, we have a magnetic field that is created. So you then get a type of bow shock.
yeah, so this object, as it streaked by only in one frame, is clearly between the SOHO spacecraft and the sun. I put the three-dimensional globe in there because this is what I saw. I saw the black bow shock discoloration in the front, which is like a perfect cone, and then another outer bow shock as it pushes through the fabric of space, leaving some debris. And people were asking me, oh, well, why can I see stars through it? Well, you're not seeing stars through it. That's just that's debris. That's what.
Yeah, that's the debris from the stellar cores. They left so much debris in the solar system that it's just filling up the inner solar system. And those white dots are actually in front of the object. I actually worked out where it is from the shape of these, the two tails. And it means that where it is has to be actually right next to the sun or behind the sun. So this is a huge object. It's obviously spherical. The white sphere around it is actually like the coma around the nucleus of a comet. The nucleus itself, the actual object, is that small circle in it, small dark circle. That's the actual size of the object.
I converted these.
Yeah.
I converted these to 4K for the resolution, and man, I'll tell you whatever the hell that is, it's pretty large object.
Yeah, you see in the black and white, you can clearly see that there are two tails coming up from the left, joining at the object. Those are the two tails. They cannot be trails, because then the object would have to come to that position where we see it from two different directions. So it's actually material being pulled in from the outside.
Yeah, in my daily rounds through, all of the different websites, and I'm checking all of the information everywhere. This thing streaked by so fast in one frame. If you had the video player on the LASCO, the C3, going too fast, you would definitely miss it. You would not see it. And I always slow it down. I usually go 3 days at a time. It takes about, 10 minutes, and I always reduce it to one frame at a time. So that way I can actually see something if it's zipping by in the 12 to 16 minutes between frames. So this object was only in one frame of 12 minutes.
Yeah, but we don't know if they manipulated the frame so that it appears, when it appeared in one frame, they said, oh, well, we'll just leave it, it doesn't matter, and they removed it from the rest. They could do that.
Well, either that,
yeah,
or the object is naturally moving at a very, very high rate of speed, and it may have been closer to the SOHO spacecraft than it is to the sun.
So when did you catch this? This is what, the 18th?
I caught this actually on the 20th, right at this. Pretty close to, I don't know, it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, my time.
Well, let me get the screen from you, because I have one that you're going to be surprised that this is interesting. Wow. So this was just recent, right?
Yeah, that was from
yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. So let me pull this one up from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, baby.
Yeah, you see, there you can clearly see the two tails again, and
so
that thing is pushing through the fabric of space, man. Look at that.
Yep. And there is a satellite that you can go, and I want to show this to you. I'm glad you're here, Claude. So this satellite, this is HOA. It's the MLSOK core coronagraph.
Yeah, I check this out once a day also.
Watch this. Watch what happens when whatever this is passes by. Watch, there you go. You can see the complete check that out. Did you see that? Check that out, folks. Let me try to pull that up if I can actually expand it. It's not letting me expand. There it goes. Yeah, look at that.
My goodness.
We definitely got a reaction.
Yeah, yeah. So there's something out there.
I think there's more than just something. I think there's a lot of things out there.
We've actually made some.
Oh, did you see this one?
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at this.
What we are seeing here are electric discharges.
It's a reverberation.
Look at that. I mean, that's what just. And then you can actually see. You know, when I try to tell people in nature, light doesn't make a 90-degree bend. It, you know, it's typically going to go in a straight.
That's weird.
Isn't that? And look what's right here, folks. Do you see it?
Yeah.
And it won't let me blow these up, unfortunately. But I just wanted to show you. There it is.
Wow.
And it stays. You see that? So it's not just an anomaly. Look at that.
Yeah.
And whatever is going on here, Claudia, what are we seeing in these? I mean, are those electrons or that?
I think these are electromagnetic waves traveling through some kind of background.
Excuse me.
Some objects are connecting through some kind of electromagnetic connections are being made between objects. I think that's what it is. And it's causing these, it looks like a resonant pattern.
Yeah, it almost looks like a tracer.
Yeah.
Like a tracing pattern. I don't know exactly how this this telescope actually operates. I've really never looked into it because I do check it out daily. It's every once in a while I find some really weird anomalies that pop up on it.
Yeah.
And that's it. So
I've seen this image before.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd just share that with everybody and just kind of get your take on it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of weird things popping up. You know, we made a really dynamic discovery, I feel, on the SDO a couple days ago. And so
what do you think's happening? Are we seeing, you know, I have this, you know, Claudia, I'm reading this book, Flare Star.
Yes, I know.
It's quite fascinating. It gives every theory of why we've had ice ages and what's brought us out. But it's coming down to this proto-Saturnarian system.
Yeah, that's the thing is what that shows is that the solar system is not a static system. It's a dynamic system. Objects are always entering the solar system.
Thank you.
They have been doing so for millennia. What we have now is a whole system of stars that we've never encountered before have entered the solar system. They've been doing so for maybe 150 years. These stars are different. They are basically dead stars. They don't have the ability to generate energy like normal objects do, like the sun and even the Earth does, which the Earth generates energy and so do other planets through fission. Through decay of unstable nuclei, it produces heat inside the planet. And the same thing happens inside stars. These objects are extremely old, so they've basically run out of unstable nuclei to fission.
And I'm showing this graph. It's out there. Everyone can pull this up, but here's what we're seeing. We're beginning now. Now they keep saying that we're going to see the solar minimum begin to rebound next year, but Claudia, it continues just to drop to unprecedented levels.
It was already known, Wayne, in the 23rd solar cycle, which was ended, I think, in 2009.
Yes, here it is right here.
Had decreased in activity right through that cycle, right through the solar maximum. It was continuously decreasing, and it has continued. We're now in solar cycle 24, and it has continued decreasing in activity. The sun is not going through a minimum. The sun is dying because of the objects that have been here for over 100 years. And I've actually started looking at pictures that people took during eclipses of the corona. The corona clearly decreased in size from the 1800s.
By the way, one of our subscribers and loyal listeners wrote me and said that she lives in Arizona. She was out in her garden or in her yard, and she said the sun dimmed. And she didn't believe it at first. And so I think, and tell me if I'm not, I don't remember the name, but she said she went in and I think got a camera. I don't know the whole thing, but it did it again. Mm-hmm. And she said to tell you she's a believer. I believe it.
There's no doubt. I just wanted to throw something in here. When Dr. Albers was referring to this solar minimum. And here's my quick theory on it, and it's very, very basic. If we are moving into a solar minimum and we see these drastic drops, to me, that's telling me, okay, if we are going into a solar minimum and we are seeing these drastic drops so quickly, then that's telling me that these objects, or the massive one, because I'm going to show it to you. I've made some incredible captures this week that I have to show you. But it's a very high possibility that these objects, their intense magnetic field interacting with the sun is pushing the sun over the edge, meaning increasing the speed of that solar minimum to the point where, just like Dr. Albers is saying, she uses the term, the sun's going dark. The sun is losing massive amounts of energy.
And this clearly shows it. I mean, if you look up here, we were at a peak back at the turn of the millennium. We're up here at the 235, 240. This was the maximum of the sunspot activity. And Dr. Albers, it just drops precipitously into a maximum minimum. And when we came out of it, we never came out of it.
Yeah, and this is radio waves. This is not X-rays. The sun, if you look at the sun in X-rays, it's just almost completely dark now.
It's almost completely black.
And in ultraviolet as well, and even visible light, you can see the difference. And you have to realize that there are objects drawing energy from the sun. They are drawing that object, like it explains, drawing electrons from the sun. They all do it. They're all depleted in electrons. They are attracted to the sun up to a point, but they can hover close to the sun. It's a kind of a strange, they're not normal objects because they are so depleted in energy, and they draw energy from any object that can still generate this energy. And we cannot forget the sun generates this energy, and so does the earth. so they will be attracted to the Earth as well. And it seems that as the sun becomes weaker and weaker, the effect seems to become stronger. And I think that's what we are seeing.
And the reason why I've got this up here, Claudia, is that this is what disturbs me. So this is the increased amount of cosmic particles we're being bombarded with.
Absolutely.
What I interpret this now, studying microbiology, this is rearranging our DNA as a species, and this is what causes mutations in the evolution of a species, is because of this damage.
Yeah, this is definitely causing damage because there's nothing that can stop them. Our atmosphere will absorb some of it, but not much. A lot of it, the neutrons and the muons, will get to the surface, and they are damaging. And we certainly are getting much more. I mean, a 13% increase is quite dramatic.
Oh, it goes even higher. I've been keeping track of this report now and this information for 2 years. Actually 2 years, since 2016.
But this is, sorry.
Here's the thing. This affects pilots, commercial airline pilots, and passengers, but more so the pilots, because the pilots are exposed to this radiation more than a passenger who just flies every now and then. So these pilots were actually being fed this information, and there is now a decrease in your flight time as a professional commercial airline pilot. And then in 2017, more information came out on this report, and they were measuring the amounts of, I guess, this radiation that is coming in, and they were prohibiting flights from going over 29,000 feet.
I have a good friend that works for a major airline, and
ask him about it.
Well, now I'm going to say, are they going to lead line the cockpit? I mean, these guys are taking these particles head on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. You're dealing with an aluminum, plastic, styrofoam structure. Okay. It's not the space shuttle. It's not the space station. It's not, Apollo 1. These are just commercial planes. That's it. And they're being bombarded by this constantly.
Yes, we definitely are. And this is because the sun is becoming weaker. But we cannot forget, this is not our only source of radiation. First of all, we are being bombarded by radiation coming from Fukushima. Everyone forgets about Fukushima. Fukushima is putting huge amounts of radiation daily into the atmosphere, into the ocean, and into the atmosphere. It has never stopped. They just don't report about it. And on top of it, we have evidence that there is a source of UVC radiation in the atmosphere. I've talked about it a lot. We've never had UVC radiation at the surface of the Earth before. We now do. And it's a huge amount. It's more than was ever getting to the top of the atmosphere from what the sun was producing. So we are not just being bombarded with cosmic rays. This is much more than cosmic rays.
I really truly think that a lot of this additional radiation, is definitely coming from these other objects, especially, possibly the largest one. And, I'm going to show you some photographs that we just captured the other day. They're absolutely intense. The little troll babies tried to say that they were, coronal loops. They're not coronal loops. I clearly proved that the next day in the follow-up video. But,
you mean from the corona?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're no way, shape, or form coronal loops. I've been observing the sun way too long. I know exactly what they are. But I looked into magnetic fields today. The strength of the magnetic field of the sun reaches the end of our solar system, and maybe even further out than that. Who knows? The magnetic field of Jupiter is absolutely intense, beyond what you could even imagine. The magnetic field of Earth is pretty strong. So just imagine if you throw that monkey wrench into this plan, and that is another one of these stellar cores that's spinning and rotating rapidly, and also has a massive magnetic field. Now you have all of these planetary structures in space with these massive magnetic fields, not too far apart from each other in space, in space distance. It's intense. I think it's bearing down on the sun, but I think one of the biggest problems with the sun is if it is going into the solar minimum, it's being pushed into the solar minimum faster because of the assault on the sun. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, we can see it in the sky, man. They chemtrail like there's no end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, oh my God, we gotta block it. Hurry. Fly faster. We need more technology, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's every single day, man. I mean, they are definitely using different technologies, different aerosols. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt.
Well, we know this, that the sky is changing. And I just got to say this, I'm just glad we have you, Dr. Albers, because to me, it gives me a little assurance that at least we can get the scientific view on it, which is very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Scott, you're obviously, with the data that you're constantly observing and collecting, what most people don't understand is that most of the observations are from laymen, the observers, us.
Yeah, you have to observe. You literally have to take the time. If you have the time, there's a tremendous amount of data to go over each and every day. You can't catch it all, but you do have to stay on top of it. You have to, because if the boys in blue happen to miss something, or they think that, oh, they're not going to see that, but they're dealing with me because I am going to see it, because I go over the data every single day, several times a day, all of it, as much of it as I can get. And I slow it down. I look at it very carefully. I analyze every single corner of every single still shot, every piece of video. And well, that's how we are capturing these objects. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, everybody else can have their own opinion. I've been doing this way too long. And now we are seeing what's happening to the Earth. The Earth, in my opinion, is literally being pulled apart. It's built like a big jigsaw puzzle anyways. So if you actually had a globe built like a puzzle, and you were just literally increasing the pressure on the inside, everything's going to start cracking, meaning our tectonic plates are going to continue to move. We see what's happening in Hawaii. We see the massive amount of fissures all over the world. This has been going on for 2 years now. It's actually picked up its pace in 2017, and it's picked up its pace in 2018, and it's not going to stop.
No.
We have serious issues in our North Pole right now. Still, I keep talking about this, but people think it's nonsense, and it's not nonsense. We have serious issues in the North Pole. Those issues in the North Pole can change everything on this globe.
Yeah.
Ask any climatologist. They'll tell you. They may deny it's happening, but if you look at the data, the data tells you straight up it's happening. So something is definitely happening at our poles. We can't get anywhere near Antarctica. Yeah. Go ahead and try to fly down there unexpected and see what happens to you.
Yeah.
You'll
You'll
never be seen again.
Well, just make sure you leave your will.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. But I wanted to show you a photograph, and I wanted to see if you pick out this structure or if you see anything in it. And I want your opinion on it. And then I'll show you, the other few captures that we've had this week that I think are just absolutely amazing. And again, it's more evidence, more proof that our sun has been invaded. And I mean, I want to fearmonger here, but you never know how much time we have left. Things are changing so rapidly on a daily basis, an hourly basis, minute by minute. We never know what's going to happen. We could lose that whole entire corner of the Hawaiian island. Imagine if that slipped into the ocean. They said that it would create a tsunami 1,000 feet high. Where's that going to go? 1,000 feet?
Well,
yeah, that will definitely blow your mind a little bit there. That's a big, big area.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big
Well,
area.
that's why I think everyone has to. It's part of what this channel does is talk with philosophy. It's talking about where you stand, with your inward witness. What's your plan? And this is all part of the time we live in. And Claudia, that's why I love your mind. You bring science into it. And it's like my T-shirt says, "Act in a defiance."
In defiance.
And you actually can see that it says,
Embrace science, resist ignorance. Wow.
So it's the thing is that we can bridge spirituality with science and have that philosophy that helps mend the two, and that's what I enjoy about our show. And
Well, I believe in truth. That's the thing.
That's what people don't understand.
Telling people the truth.
Yeah.
People have the right to know the truth and make their own decisions based on the truth.
Yeah.
And you need to know the truth in order to be able to make a decent decision about your life, your spiritual life, your physical life, what you want for your children, what you can do about it. You need to know the truth.
See, and I just want to say this, Einstein went to his grave never being able to prove the standard model of gravity to the unified theory.
Yes.
Oh, crap. So
The thing is, no theory is ever proven. It can only be falsified. You can have experiments that will give strength to your theory because they seem to go along with it. But the moment one experiment or one observation does not agree with it, it's falsified.
yes. And by the way, the critics that, that are out there, it's all theories, folks. Every paper I read, every white paper is a theory.
Yeah.
A hypothesis.
Oh, let's get peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Peer reviewed's everything.
And what I dislike the most is to watch a television program that talks about, say, the planets in the solar system or goes into Big Bang Theory, all theories that have been falsified clearly by observation, and they're still talking about them as if it's fact.
Yeah.
I used to teach my students, first of all, I'm going to teach you all these things. They are theories. I explained to them what theories were. And that means they're not fact, but they help us learn to think logically. As you process these old theories, you learn to think. But never think that they are fact. They are not fact.
Bingo. And just to back that up, folks, I keep quoting this. We're going to have the woman Tony, but I love this. A belief is defined as being convinced something is true without proof it is true.
That sounds like something in a fortune cookie.
Oh, hey, Chris. Thank you, buddy. Listen, Chris is in the room and everyone else. Listen, we've gone really over, but I just tell you, I love you both. You guys are just, and lady, are a delight. And as I told you, Claudia, I look forward to Monday nights, that this is the night I get to learn. And I learned a lot. And so,
yeah. We had fun looking at all those images.
Oh, and it's fun. And, next week, I don't know what'll happen, but.
Oh, yeah. It's there. Like I said, from this point on, there will never be a dull moment. You don't have to worry about having a topic to talk about, because things are going to happen as each tick on the clock goes by. But before you sign off, Wayne, I wanted to show you, two of these photographs. And I want you to see if you recognize what we got there.
Yeah.
Now, this was just on the 10th of May. And again, same thing. This object coming directly towards.
This may actually be the same object that you caught on the 20th.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's about the same kind of thing.
Here's it in black and white. These weren't converted over to 4K yet. So this is just a simple screenshot on my computer.
Yeah.
And you start to see,
you see, it also has a type of trail, which I think is a tail, because you wouldn't actually...
We got the same cavitation over at the 9 o'clock position.
Yeah.
That we saw on the HSL. Look at that. Same character signature. And then we got the huge object. And that's just almost as big as our sun.
Well, check this out.
Yeah, it is. That's true. You see, the other one, the dark circle was about the same size as the sun as well.
Yeah, now these two images were converted over to 4K. And you can see they're much more clear. It's right in your face. It's coming directly towards the stereo core 2.
Yeah.
And what are the critics trying to say that this is?
Nobody said anything. I know exactly what it is.
They will just say it's an anomaly. They won't say
because there's no solar flaring going on.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
This wouldn't be from any solar flare anyway. It's too straight lined. It looks like a cloud following a spherical object.
Yeah. These
gas.
Whatever this object is, it has the ability to move very, very fast. Faster than any planet in an orbit around the sun. I keep saying that. I definitely feel that this object also has a rotational period that is just absolutely off the chart. Because the reason why I say that is we're always seeing this debris. So if you spin something faster and faster and faster and faster, even in the fabric of space, you're going to, and if it's moving in an orbital pattern that is just absolutely at a very, very high rate of speed, you're going to have this trailing no matter what on this object. And I put these little 3D planets in there and I measured them perfectly so they actually fit that object. Oh, this was a photograph that somebody sent in. What the hell is that?
Yeah, holographic sky.
Yeah, there was one more. Oops. There was one more picture that I wanted to show you. Oh, where the hell is it? And I'll just wait for your commentary.
What, mine?
Nope. I want Wayne's. You already saw this.
What? The filament, or that's what I guess they would say that it is.
Just keep looking to that 1 o'clock position.
Yeah, that whenever I see that tornado-like thing, I know that's a connection to a stellar core. So
yeah, don't even bother with this. Take a look at that.
Yeah, that's a circular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some kind of object there that the corona is actually opening up. So because there's an object inside it.
Now here's the thing, and in my follow-up video to this is the photograph that people were saying, oh, that's nothing more than coronal loops. Well, I go to a website once a day. They list every single eruption, CME, filament, whatever, coronal loops are on the list. Every minute of every day, this is all recorded. You can click on it. You can get the high definition video from the cameras on the spacecraft. On this day, nothing, I repeat, nothing was listed at this point. Nothing. So if no coronal loops were identified and listed, then what the hell is this? And this little solar tornado that they refer to, this was also not listed on that day. So here is another shot from the, what is it, the 211?
SDO, yes, I think it is the 211.
And again, you can see a very well-defined, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I also took, and here's the thing, coronal loops are not perfectly circular, spherical. I've read about them from descriptions from NASA. Every space and sun report that I could find on these, and I did this years ago and even kept up to date on it. This object this is the big boy. This is the one that I've been catching in this position and also in the 10 o'clock position on the other side of the sun. So once again, you can clearly see it. And normally the coronal loops, they'll be over top of sunspots. There is no sunspot and no solar activity in the photosphere listed on this day. Nothing. Nothing. So once again.
Well.
So, I mean,
everything is learning.
So I put this little 3D globe in here and I'll just run it. So you give,
Yeah, just to show where the object really is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that they actually colored these images so that we don't see these objects. And as I was looking at this image, I noticed there were perfect circles within the actual surface of the sun in certain areas. So it looks like that they are actually inside the corona and in the regions that would be closer to facing Earth, but it's just more difficult to see them.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Yeah, check this thing out. I was looking at some Mars observer. What's that?
It's the rover,
rover.
Mars rover.
Yeah, I just happened to click on there. I wanted to check some pictures out, and these were just the other day. Look at this thing.
Oh my goodness! It looks like a drone, or is it a ship?
The very next frame, it's not there.
It's a Mars UFO. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Lower Eisenhower would say it's just one of ours.
Now here is your classic NASA coronal loop. Now there you go.
Yep.
This is an ultra 4K high definition, straight from the NASA heliospheric department.
Yeah.
I don't see no perfect circle. I don't see any way in hell. And you see here at the bottom in the photosphere of the sun, you see all the activity, connection, reconnection, connection, reconnection. These coronal loops can stay, bouncing around on the sun for a few hours, a few days, a few weeks. There's really no length of time.
And you actually have sunspots in there.
Yeah, and the sunspots are what spark these connections, reconnections back and forth. So here's a side by side. You be the judge. Does that look like a coronal loop to you? Does that look like that?
Yeah, because they don't even connect. You don't see the top. If these are plasma loops, what happened to the top?
Exactly.
Which should be even brighter than lower down. It's not there.
What people aren't understanding is this object is slightly enveloped within the sun's corona.
Yeah.
Which is going to give it that hazy look. But even still, does it look anything like this coronal loop?
Yeah. Yeah, the slight rounded shape is due to the corona itself parting and following the shape of the object, because it has to part with a solid object inside it.
Exactly. And this little solar
guys, I hate to cut this off, but I have a hard cut off I need to really get to. So.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, let me get out of here.
I'm sorry. I just I've got people literally at the door into my office. So
they bang and they're beating it down. Let me in there.
Yeah, well, we just that's just what it is. It's life, folks. So
yeah, of course.
well, I just want to thank you both for very educational, enlightening evening. And I don't know, like I said, next week it's changing so quickly, something is really taking place.
Yes.
Yeah. So
no doubt.
I'm going to exit before they come and drag me out.
All right, Wayne, you take care, buddy.
All right. Thank you, folks.